very much. I would like to thank you all, Ms. Basma Lawi, as well as Haley, and all the Dr. Gonzalez for the welcoming remarks, as well as all the other distinguished speakers who are joining us this your evening, early morning, my time. And I am really excited to be part of your storytelling tonight. Congratulations to all the students who have graduated from the New American Speaker Program. This is very exciting and actually very fulfilling, because through your speeches, you are giving an experience, you are giving love, you are giving care, you are giving tips for the future. So I would like to congratulate you for the success of your program, as well as the success of the student who passes the course. I would like to start telling you a little bit about myself and how since I came to the United States. I came to the US over 30 years ago. It seems like a long time ago for some of for the newcomers who they just came in the past decade or a decade and a half. But certainly throughout this experience, or throughout these years, it's been a great experience that I have learned a lot. I came and I was only 20 years old, and it was certainly an eye-opener for me to leave Iraq at that time. I came from the southern part of Iraq, when it's the second largest city in Iraq. Came from a religious family. I finished high school, and then the uprising happened against Saddam Hussein in 1991. I joined the uprising seeking freedom and justice. Unfortunately, this uprising didn't succeed. So I left Iraq to Jordan, and then from Jordan to many other countries. And then I applied to come to the United States to study, and that's what happened. And I ended up in the US. Then after that, I got busy going to school, establishing a family, and started to work, and started to. My first job was working with refugees who came to the US from different parts of the world. And in the US, they have a program to resettle refugees, certain amount of refugees every year. And I started my first job with an organization that took care of refugees specifically. And for me, it was a very fulfilling job, because you become a mentor, you become a mother for some of the young people who came to the US at that time, as well as an eyes, hands, and mind to help these people explore and getting to know their new lives in the US. So I worked with refugees from all over the world, as well as I have specifically some difficult cases. At that time was resettling the lost boys of Sudan. Young men and women flee Sudan during the civil war, left their families. So most of them are teenagers, and they have left Sudan, went to Kenya and lived in a refugee camp there, and then they was decided to settle them in the United States. And it was very interesting for me, because I see these young people. Some of them are, 14, 15 years old. They have no parents around, emerging to a new, bigger world than certainly the refugee camp that they had. And I had to be responsible about them. I had 18 of them, and I helped them go through high school diploma. Some of them went to colleges, graduated, they got a job. And I was, to my surprise, many years later, I saw a couple of them attending one of my speeches that I do in different places. And they came to me and said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "You look familiar." And he said, "You helped me come here and resettle and establish a new life." So for me, this is such a rewarding moment. And but throughout the experience that I had in the US, you come, you fresh, your language is probably not as great as you wish, or whatever English you have, and then you start learning a lot through your daily life experiences, as well as you start going to school and learn more and more. So I remember when I I left the refugee work and I started teaching at Yale University, and that was another level in my life. So when I start looking into the steps that I have took to where I am today, it's been such a long ladder, but I'm sure many of you you have similar expertise and similar experiences that you went through. Through that time, when I started teaching, I get to know many students from all over the world who they wanted to learn about the Middle East and about the culture, about the habits and the mindset of and the literature that this rich area have provided to the whole wide world. So throughout their questions and dealing with them, you learn that. Shortly after 9/11 happened, and that was a turning point in my life. I felt the terror I left behind in Iraq is following me to the US. Now it's not threatening only me, but threatening my new country that I am a proudly citizen of, my children, my neighbors, my friends. And I felt it is important for me to take an action. At that time, I was teaching, so I left my teaching position, and I felt it's my responsibility to stand in the faces of hatred and extremism in America and all over the world. So I established the American Islamic Congress with three other young graduate students from Yale University. And the three guys, shortly after a couple of months, they decided that they are too busy with their coursework. So ended me carrying the responsibility of starting a new organization and keeping up with all the daily work of it. So the opportunity arose afterwards to, to work with people of different faith. People were so, around that time of 9/11, people so eager and very curious to learn about Muslim community in the US. And they would like to actually know a lot of, they had a lot of questions and a lot of things about what happened, why this has happened, are all Muslims are like that, or this and that. There are a lot of questions, a lot of curiosity. So I was able to address some of these questions through op-eds that I had published in New York Times or Wall Street Journal or USA Today, and many other news outlets. And then I became a constant contributor in different TV channels. And after that, I was giving a lot of lectures and doing a lot of speaking in many different agencies, government organizations, government offices, organizations, so on and so forth. So then the work of my organization, the American Islamic Congress, started to expand to many parts of the world and went through to other countries. I felt the need for people. I felt there are a lot of needs for people in different parts of the world that I could provide through the work we do. So I established the first office after being in the US, in Iraq. Iraq became a hot topic shortly after 9/11, and worked in a lot of programs in Iraq to empower women, to get women quota in the parliament or the new government, to work on reforming the education system in Iraq, to work on training teachers in Iraq, to work on developing women leadership in Iraq, and many other programs that we have. Then the opportunity arose after that to establish an office in Cairo, as Cairo considered to be a strategic place that link the different parts of the Middle East together, and worked a lot with youth on establishing youth network called HAMSA, Hands Across the Middle East Support Alliance, to help youth journalists, bloggers, activists to enhance their expertise and ability to express themselves, as well as how to deliver their message to their community and enhance their role in their own community. Then my work started to expand to other parts of the world. We saw the opportunity rising in Tunisia, so I opened an office in Tunisia and then in Turkey to help people all around. Our work expanded through the organization to about 14 different countries in the region, Middle East and North Africa. And add to that, I started to become an international speaker for the State Department, speaking about Muslim community in the US and the need, as well as working on issues of youth social entrepreneurs and violence extremism, and how much this issue is actually tackling youth all over the world. With that program, I traveled around the world extensively, and I became more and more aware of other problems that need our help as people in a privileged world, such as the US, and what could we do to help people in other parts of the world. So giving our experiences, giving our, only the expertise, but the privilege we have living in an international community, living in a country that giving you and granted you democracy and freedom, and certainly a lot of opportunities. So with that, the programs that I have created or addressed with my own organization start to expand, and we have thousands and thousands of people who participated, whether through conferences, trainings, and many other issues. With that, when you I look back to the experiences the experience that I had with the refugees and with the newcomers, it was really interesting because I was once upon a time a person who immigrated to a new country, to a new culture, to a new system, and I needed this kind of help, even though I had family members that they were generously helpful. But through that experience, I learned a lot, and I wanted to share the stuff that I have learned with other people, and newcomers, new immigrants, and you feel the reward. You feel the great. You have that great feeling when you see them flourishing, being successful, and happy. So focus on your goals. Seek and try to find the people who are in need for this kind of help, and don't lose this kind of opportunity to help other person in need, whether in the US or outside the United States. I am so grateful to this opportunity. I would like again to thank Ms. Basma Lawi and Haley and all of you for this opportunity tonight. And I look forward to seeing see you again in some other occasions. Thank you very much.
Thank you